and it was hotter still in this room. There were no windows, and the air conditioning was being run exclusively into the party room to keep the children cool and happy. As the minutes trickled by, he felt more beads beginning to descend. He began to hear a very faint grinding sound, like metal straining. He exhaled sharply in frustration, sending a spittle of sweat that had collected on his lip outwards. As the sweat landed on the springlock, the mechanism slipped out of place. Mike's entire world turned black. As the endoskeleton's face came loose and clamped around his head, he felt his eyeballs get crushed as the skeleton's globes were forced into his sockets. He felt his cheeks split and his teeth crack as the mouth segments swung out to meet each other inside his jaw. Two metal beams sprang out from either side, piercing his eardrums. At the same time, several large metal plates began crushing his head from all sides. He tried to yell, but he was already gargling his own blood, which spilled from his mouth and began trickling throughout the suit. More metallic clunks echoed around the room as the trickling blood started a chain reaction of multiple springlock failures. Mike stood there, jerking in place as multiple metal beams and cogs began shooting through his soft tissues. He could feel metal probes forcing spinal segments through his body. He lost feeling below the waist, but the metal legs held him firm as his spinal cord was severed. He tried to scream again, but the air erupted from the holes in his chest, followed by a red mist from his pierced lungs. Another clunk echoed around the room as the hard plastic parts were driven through the holes into his body. The tears in his abdomen finally met as one, and his organs fell out into the suit. A final springlock went in his crotch as his stomach acid spilled over it, and his nether regions were skewered. With every lock now open, the suit maneuvered itself into a default pose, with the mouth slightly open and one hand up in a waving position. Mike could not move. He could not speak. He could not hear. He could not see. All he could do was feel the pain, and the life slowly draining from him, and the shock setting in.